हर 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 महादेव शंभो। ॐ वन्दे देवमुमापतिं सुरगुरुं वन्दे जगत्कारणं वन्दे पन्नगभूषणं मृगधरं वन्दे पशूनां पतिं वन्दे सूर्यशशाङ्कवाहननयनं वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियं वन्दे भक्तजनाश्रयं च वरदं वन्दे शिवं शङ्करं। शान्तं पद्मासनस्थं शशिधरमुकुटं पञ्चवक्त्रं त्रिनेत्रं शूलं वज्रं च खड्गं परशुभभयदं दक्षिणाङ्गे महान्तं नागं पाशं च घण्टादमरुकसहितं चाकुशं वामभागे नानालङ्कारयुक्तं स्फटिकमणिनिभं पार्वतीशं नमामि। साम्ब सदाशिवाय नमः। ध्यानं समर्पयामि नमः। ॐ साम्ब सदाशिवाय नमः। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात्। श्रीरुद्रदेवाय नमः। ॐ आवाहनं समर्पयामि नमः। आसनं समर्पयामि नमः। पंचामृतमहास्नानं शंभवे नमः। ॐ शशिशेखराय नमः। ॐ नीलकण्ठाय नमः। ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमस्रवस्तवं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसाधनम्। ॐ हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात्। ॐ नमो हिरण्यवाहवे हिरण्यवर्णाय हिरण्यरूपाय हिरण्यपतये अम्बिकाय पतये उमापतये पशुपतये नमः। ऋतं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। ईशान सर्वविद्यानां ईशान सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपते ब्रह्मणोऽधिपते ब्रह्मा मे ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवों निधनपतये नमः। निधनपतान्तकाय नमः। ऊर्ध्वाय नमः। ऊर्ध्वलिङ्गाय नमः। हिरण्याय नमः। हिरण्यलिङ्गाय नमः। ॐ सुवर्णाय नमः। सुवर्णलिङ्गाय नमः। दिव्याय नमः। दिव्यलिङ्गाय नमः। भवाय नमः। भवलिङ्गाय नमः। शर्वाय नमः। सर्वलिङ्गाय नमः। शिवाय नमः। शिवलिङ्गाय नमः। ज्वलाय नमः। ज्वललिङ्गाय नमः। आत्माय नमः। आत्मलिङ्गाय नमः। परमाय नमः। परमलिङ्गाय नमः। एतत् सोमस्य सूर्यस्य सर्वलिङ्गस्थापयति पालिमन्त्रं पवित्रं सत्यो जातं प्रपद्यामि। सत्यो जाताय वे नमो नमः। भवे भवे नाति भवे भवस्य मां भवोद्भवाय नमो वामदेवाय नमो ज्येष्ठाय नमो श्रेष्ठाय नमो रुद्राय नमः। कालाय नमः। कलविकरणाय नमो बलविकरणाय नमो बलाय नमो बलप्रमथनाय नमः। सर्वभूतदमनाय नमो मनोन्मनाय नमः। अघोरेभ्यो थघोरेभ्यो वघोरघोरतरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यो सर्वसर्वेभ्यो नमस्तेऽस्तु रूपेभ्याम्। ॐ सर्ववैरुद्र सर्वैरुद्राय नमस्तु पुरुषैव रुद्र रसन्महो नमो नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम्। Om Namah Shivaya Namaha. Everybody can come now. I better come offer Abhishekam. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव वन्दना मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ शञ्च मे मयश्च मे प्रियं च मे मेनुकामश्च मे कामश्च मे सौमनश्च मे भद्रं च मे श्रेयश्च मे व्यस्यश्च मे यशश्च मे भगश्च मे द्रविणं च मे यन्ता च मे धर्ता च मे क्षेमस्य मे धृतिश्च मे विश्वं च मे महश्च मे संविच्च मे ज्ञात्रं च मे शूश्च मे प्रसूश्च मे क्षीरं च मे लयश्च मृतं च मे अमृतं च मे यक्षं च मे मेनामयश्च मे जीवातुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वं च मे ममेन मित्रं च मे भयं च मे सुगं च मे शयनं च मे सूचा च मे सुदिनं च मे। ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम्। ॐ श्रीरुद्रप्रशनः कृष्णयजुर्वेदीयः तैत्तिरीयसंहिताः चतुर्थवैश्वदेवं काण्डं पञ्चम प्रपातक। ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय। ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यवौतोतैषवे नमः। नमस्ते अस्तु धन्मने बाहुभ्यामुत ते नमः। या तेषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते दनुः शिवा शरभ्या या तव तया नो रुद्रमृदय या ते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुवा शन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकशीः यामीशुङ्गिरिशन्तहस्तर्विवर्षस्तवे शिवां गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि वंसेः। पुरुषं जगता शिवेन वचसा त्वां गिरिचा चावधामसि यथा नः सर्वमी जगयदक्ष्मगुं सुमना असत अध्यवोचततिभक्तां प्रथमो देभ्योऽभिषकः अहीगञ्च सर्वान् जम्भयन्त सर्वाश्च यातु धान्यः असो यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बब्लुः सुमङ्गलः ये चैमागं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षो श्रुताः सहस्राक्षो वैशागं हेदईमहि असो यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्य उतैनं विश्वाभूतानि सदृष्टो मृदयातिनः। नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मेढुषे अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो करणं मम प्रमुञ्च धन्वनुस्तबुभयो रात्रियोजां याश्च ते हस्त इषवा पराता भगवो वप अवतत्वधनुस्त्वगं सहस्राक्षा शिते शिते निशील्य शल्यानां मुखां शिवो न सुमना भव विज्यं धनुकपर्दिनो विशल्युवानवागमुतः अनेशनस्येष आभूरस्य निषङ्गति या ते हेतिर्मे धुष्टं मस्ते बभूवथे धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्य मयक्ष्मया परिभुजा नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय नातताय धृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुतते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् पृनक्तु विश्वतः अतो य इषुधिस्तवारि अस्मन्निदेहितं शम्भवे नमः। नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्रयंबकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालग्निकालाय कालग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ॐ नमो हिरण्यवाहवे सेनान्ये दिशां जपतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो पशूनां पतये नमो नमः। सस्पिञ्जराय तुषिमते पतीनां पतये नमो नमो बब्लुषाय निव्याधिनेनानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतिने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भवस्य हेते जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तथा विने क्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्ताय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय स्तपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मान्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षानां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारि वस्कृताय औषधीनां पतये नमो नमः उचैः घोषाय क्रन्दयते पतीनां पतये नमो नमः कृत्स्नवीताय धावतये सत्त्वानां पतये नमः नमः सहमानाय निव्याधिने आव्याधिनीनानां पतये नमो नमः कुकुभाय नशङ्गिने स्तेनानां पतये नमो नमो निशङ्गिने इषुधिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चिते स्तायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचेरवे परिचराचरायाणां पतये नमो नमः सृकाविभ्यो जिगाघं सद्भयो मुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो असिमद्भयो नक्तं चद्भय प्रकृतानां पतये नमो नमः उष्णीषिणे गिरिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः इषिमद्भयो धन्वाभिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयश्चद्भयो वस्त्रुभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो सृद्भयो विद्यद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः ॐ स्वभभयो जगद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तिष्ठभ्यो ध्यावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो अश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः ॐ शम्भवे नमः ॐ सांब सदाशिवाय नमः ॐ नमः शिवाय शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनं उर्वारुकमिव बन्धना मृत्यो पुष्यामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम्
ब्रह्ममुरारिसुरार्चितलिङ्गं निर्मलभाषितशोभितलिङ्गं ब्रह्ममुरारिसुरार्चितलिङ्गं निर्मलभाषितशोभितलिङ्गं जन्मजदुःखविनाशकलिङ्गं जन्मजदुःखविनाशकलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं
नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः
जकातवी गलज्ज्वल प्रभाहि पावितस्थले गले वलं विलम्बितं भुजङ्गतुङ्गमालिका जकातवी गलज्ज्वल प्रवाह पावितस्थले गले वलं विलम्बितं भुजङ्गतुङ्गमालिका दमर्वयं चकार चन्द्रताण्डवं तनोतु न शिवा शिवं तनोतु न शिवा शिवं तनोतु न शिवा शिवम् ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि ॐ नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभो भवानी शंकर भगवान की जय. All those who have prasad, please bring it up now to offer. This should be just about 5 minutes or so it takes, and after that we'll start our katha. Om Shamba Sadashivaya Namaha. बोले उमापति महादेव की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये। हर 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 महादेव शंभो। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। श्री गुरुदेवेभ्यो नमः। मातृपितृदेवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबिके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। आशुतोष शशांक शेखर चंद्रमौलि चिदंबरा कोटि कोटि प्रणाम शंभो कोटि नमन दिगंबरा कोटि नमन दिगंबर। बोलो आशुतोष शशांक शेखर चंद्रमौलि चिदंबरा कोटि कोटि
प्रणाम शंभो कोटि नमन दिगंबरा कोटि नमन दिगंबरा।
ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। निर्विकारो कार्य विनाशी तुम्ही देवादिदेव जगत सरचत प्रलय करता शिवम सत्यम सुंदरम शिवम
सत्यम सुंदरम।
निर्विकार निरंकार स्वरूप कालेश्वर महायोगेश्वरा दयानिधि दानीश्वरा जय जटाधर जय भयंकरा जय जटाधर जय भयंकरा। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। शूलपाणि त्रिशूलधारी और घरी भागंभरी जय महेश त्रिलोचनायक विश्वनाथ विशंबरा, विश्वनाथ विशंबरा। नाथ नागेश्वर हरि हर पाप शाप निशाप तुम, महादेव महान भोले सदा शिव शिव शंकरा, सदा शिव शिव शंकरा। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। जगतपति अनुरक्त भक्ति सदैव तेरे चरण हो, क्षमा हो अपराध सब, जय जय जयति जगदीश्वरा, जय जय जयति जगदीश्वरा। जन्म जीवन जगत का संताप मिटे सभी, ओम नमः शिवाय जप जपता रहे पंचाक्षरा, जपता रहे पंचाक्षरा। ओम नमः शिवाय, 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 ओम नमः शिवाय। वंदे देवमुमापतिं सुरगुरुं, वंदे जगत्कारणं, वंदे पन्नगभूषणं मृगधरं, वंदे पशूनां पतिं, वंदे सूर्यशशाङ्कवाहिनीनयनं, वंदे मुकुन्दप्रियं, वंदे भक्तजनाश्रयं च वरदं, वंदे शिवं शंकरं। प्रेम से बोलो मापति महादेव की जय। When the Lord closes his eyes, he sees this divine image. Parvati Ma asked Shivji, when you close your eyes, Mahadev, who do you see? Because when the world closes their eyes, they see you. But when you close your eyes, who do you see? And one name came from his mouth, Ram. Ram. This evening we bow to Prabhu Ram Bhagwan, the seventh incarnation of Narayan Bhagwan. We bow to Shri Krishna Bhagwan and also to Hanumanji Maharaj, because no Katha can commence without Hanumanji's presence. Shri Ram, Shri Ram Ram Raghunandan Ram Rama, Shri Ram Ram Bharatagraj Ram Rama, Shri Ram Ram Ranakar Kash Ram Rama, Shri Ram Ram Sharanam Bhav Ram Rama. Om Atulit Baladhamam Hema Shailavadeham, धनुजवन कृशानुं ज्ञानिनां मृगगण्यं, सकल गुण निधानं वानराणामधीशं, रघुपति प्रिय भक्तं वातजातं नमामि। वंशी विभूषित कराननमनीरदाभात, पीताम्बरादरुण बिम्ब फलधरोष्टात्, पूर्णेन्दु सुंदर मुखारविंद्र नेत्र, कृष्णात् पदं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा, गुरुर् साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः, तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः, तस्मै श्री गोरवे नमः। बोले सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। बोलिए सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। ओम शिव परात् परा शिव, ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम। ओम शिव परात् परा शिव, ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम। ओ बोलो ओम शिव परात् परा शिव, ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम। ओम शिव ओम भोले,
ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम।
ओम शिव परात् परा शिव, ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम। ओम शिव
परात् परा शिव, ओंकारा शिव तव
बोले भम भोले। ओम शिव परात् परा शिव, ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम। ओम शिव परात् परा शिव, ओंकारा शिव तव
शरणम।
हे शिव शंकर भवानी शंकर, उमा महेश्वर तव शरणम। हे शिव शंकर भवानी शंकर, उमा महेश्वर तव शरणम। ओम शिव परात् परा शिव, ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम। ओम
शिव
बम भोले।
परात् परा शिव, ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम।
हे जगदीश्वर पिनाक पाणी, त्रिनयन शंकर तव शरणम। हे जगदीश्वर पिनाक पाणी, त्रिनयन शंकर तव शरणम। ओम शिव परात् परा शिव, ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम। ओम
परात्
शंभो।
ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम।
हे मृत्युंजय पशुपति शंकर, भुजंग भूषण तव शरणम। हे मृत्युंजय भुजंग भूषण, पशुपति शंकर तव शरणम। ओम शिव परात् परा शिव, ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम। हे ओम शिव परात् परा शिव, ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम। ओम शिव परात् परा शिव, ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम। शंभो
शिव परात् परा शिव,
भोले बाबा।
ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम।
हे अविनाशी कैलाशवासी, पार्वती पति तव शरणम। हे अविनाशी कैलासवासी, पार्वती पति तव शरणम। हे ओम शिव परात् परा शंभो
ओंकारा शिव तव
महादेव। ओम शिव परात् परा शिव, ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम। ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम, ओंकारा शिव तव शरणम। हे शिव शंकर भवानी शंकर उमा महेश्वर तव शरणम प्रभु तव शरणम. To your doors Prabhu, to your realm, to your world we have come Mahadev. Hey Shiva Shankar, Bhavani Shankar. Bhavani Shankar means Bhavani Ke Shankar, the Lord of Ma Bhavani. Shivaji cannot move, he cannot breathe, he cannot do anything without the grace of Ma Bhavani. Karpur Gauram Karunavataram Sansara Saram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayarabinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Nothing can occur without Ma Bhavani's grace and without her involvement with Shiva. It's a beautiful lesson, my friends. They are the mother and father of the world. They show us that together, when we work together, how much we can achieve. But when we work against each other, how little we can achieve and how much destruction we cause in this world. This evening, we're going to have a beautiful Katha. I want to talk about the Shiva Lingam. I want to talk, not all, but most about the Shiva Lingam, because the Shiva Lingam, my friends, if you ask me, the Shiva Lingam is a very, very, I'll describe to you later what it means to me, but in my opinion, he is the rock of our life. He is a rock without any hands, the Lord with any hands. You know, you compare him to Ma Durga, look at her. Ashtadasha Bhujaroop. The form is called Ashtadasha Bhujaroop, which means she has 18 forms. This form of Ma Durga is worshipped in a certain way. You have to worship her very differently. But she stands on a lion, Ashtadasha Bhujaroop, controlled, ready to fight, ready to defend, ready to embrace all that she is doing. And Mahadev Bhagwan sits at the utmost right, without any hands, without any face, without any eyes, without any ears, without any feet. Ananga Hevo, the one without any hands. Yet, Sahasra Shirsham Deham, he has 1,000 hands. When it is time to embrace us all, he has thousands of hands to do that. Without a feet, but when it is time to run to his disciples, he's there. Without a mouth, but when it is time to comfort you, he's there. Without eyes, Mahadev Bhagwan, look at him in the Shiva Lingam form. Without eyes, but when it's time to look out for you, he does. Without ears, who will listen to you more than him, Mahadev? I don't know if you think I'm crazy, but I talk to him every day. I talk to him every day because I know he won't tell anybody my story. That is why we consecrate lingam and images, because they never change. They never change. Today, you give them all the mantras and everything else, they never change. They will be like that. You consecrate a person today they are God, tomorrow, mood is changed. To Bhagwan Shankar, we bow and we seek his blessings on all of you. Ananga Bhagwan hai wo, and he's like Mahavishnu as well. Mahavishnu is, when you chant the Vishnu Sahasranam Bhagwan Vishnu, we do that in August. Panditji chants Sahasranam here as well. Our temple, you have to do these things. Sahasra, when we Purushuktam, Sahasra Shirasha Purusha, we describe him as 1,000 eyes, 1,000 hands, 1,000 feet, Mahavishnu. But yet he comes in the form of Shaligram, like a stone. A stone which worms crawl into. If you see a real Shaligram, inside of it, it has marks, because the worms go and eat it out and they form a mark. No? One without any hands can still stretch so many hands to you. I'm so glad that tonight so many devotees are here to open your hearts, open your hands, open your eyes, open your ears to the Katha of Bhagwan Shivji. And of course, so many of you have joined online as well. Lots of you are online. That's very great. And we invite you to continue to join, but come on out to the temple as well. Devotees are in the temple, and so nice to see all of you, to listen to the glories of Shiv Bhagwan. Last night, we talked about Shiv Puran, but before we do that, I'd like to acknowledge our Shrotas today, virtual sponsorship. Although she's in the temple, Shanti Balrup. Bhagwan's blessing to you, Shanti, and thank you for
being a virtual sponsor, and she's been a devotee of our temple and a Hindu of our community. And she's bowing to Bholenath Bhagwan this evening, giving thanks and gratitude. May Bhagwan Bholenath shower blessings in abundance on her family. God bless you, Shanti. And this evening, our Shrota, Bhaiji David, who is a tremendously hard worker for this temple and has been for so many years since Melanie. He has not been too well recently, but he listened to the program last night and he phoned me up this morning and says, Pandit, if you need somebody, I'm here. I said, well, of course, it's the right time. And he came and nicely did so many pujas, Bhagwan's blessings to David. There are a lot of people who work for this temple in so many ways, and they are simple and hardworking people who you will never know. And David is one of them who worked tremendously hard for us and still does in so many ways. God bless you, David, with health and strength. We are all here with you, and we pray every day for you, and we pray that Bholenath Bhagwan continue to bless you and your family as well. Last night, we talked about Shiv Puran, the glories of Shiv Puran. And what did we say? We bow to Mahadev Bhagwan, who, by listening to his glories, by listening to Shiv Puran, he washes away. Shiv Puran talks about washing away sin. I don't have to color this up. I don't have to tell you in a very polite way, but that is what it says. Just like when you take one dip in the Ganga, it washes out 3 birth, 3 janam of pap. You know that, right? Every time you take a dip in the Ganga and you come back, it washes away 3 janma, 3 birth of sins. So then you take a couple of dips and you come back and you say, wow, I'm sin-free, right? But we have taken 8,400,000 births. So if you divide that by 3, then you'll have your number. How many times you have to dip. But please be assured, when you dip there down and cleanse, you're not going to go back and impure the body and mind and soul. Because Atma Tvam Girijamati Sahachara Prana Shariram Griha Puja Te Vishayopabhogarchana Nidra Samadhistati Sanchara Padayo Pradakshan Vidhi Stotrani Sarva Gira Yadyat Karma Karomi Tattadakhilam Shambhotava Radhanam Shambhutavaradhanam. You got to be careful that when we wash away these impurities, when we come and listen to Mahashiv Puran, and you cleanse, that you do not go back again. And, there's a particular animal back home. No matter how much you bathe him, and no matter how much you cleanse his skin, they'll go in the trench and bathe and so on. And they come right on the dam, on the sun, and they roll like this. What is the purpose of that? What is the purpose of that? We have to realize Atma Tvam. Bhagwan Shiv, Atma Tvam. You are the Atma. That is why Hindus never pray for the soul. May your soul rest in peace, or may your soul be blessed. No. Atma Tvam, because Shivji is the Atma. And what is the intelligence? Girija Mati. Right? Girija Mati. Girija Devi is the Mati. Long ago, people used to have names like Tara Mati, this Mati, Pulmati, Sukmati, all those. Mati, they mean, Mati means intelligence, your intellect. No? It's a beautiful name. When you pray to Girija Devi, your Mati will never leave you. Your intelligence will never leave you. Right? You'll make mistakes, but your intelligence will never leave you. When you pray to Shiva, your soul, your Atma will always be vibrant, will always be full of life. It will nurture you and propel you to do good things in life. Atma Tvam Girija Mati Sahachara Prana Shariram Griha. And this body houses the prana. This body that is yours, Prabhu, houses the prana, the breaths of life. Last night we talked. Puja te vishayopabhogarchana nidra samadhistati. And by doing puja to you, Prabhu, you ensure that this gift of yours, your presence in us, is very vibrant and very alive. There are many times people are breathing, but they are not alive. They're just docile. They are just very, not lively. It means your Shakti in you, the prana in you, the Shiva in you, the Girija in you is not alive. And that is why when we pray, we are cleansing, but we are bathing the Lord inside of us. This brings us to tonight's topic, my friends. This brings us to tonight's topics, which is the Shiva Lingam. I want to deal with the Shiva Lingam tonight because Shiva Lingam is something that I grew up with. But more so, Hindus, this is something no matter where you were in Guyana or Trinidad or wherever, you may not know a lot of God. Nowadays, they have so many forms of the Divine Mother and so. You may not know all these fancy forms of the Mother and the Divine Lord, but you know something called the Shiva Lingam. We all grew up with this. Regardless of where you grew up with, you had a Shiva Lingam, no matter if it was in a glass or a board or in a cup, but you worshipped it. Shiva Lingam is extremely important in our life. And in the Mahashiva Puran, this is called the Shiva Tattva. It is called the Shiva Tattva, the teaching from Shivji. He gives us in his own words, ways in which we can reach him. In the yogic culture, when you follow yoga, in the yogic tradition, he gave Ma Parvati 112 ways in which we can reach him. In Shiv Puran, in the Katha, he gives us the Shiva Lingam and tells us that this is a way we can hold him, we can hug him, we can smile with him, we can talk with him. And though you think he has no ears, he will listen to you. The Shiva Lingam, my friends. We're going to talk about that. There are different kinds of Shiva Lingam. There are all kinds of Shiva Lingam. Mud one, made with boiled rice and all these kind of things. Many, many kinds of it. What do they mean? What do you mean when you throw milk and honey on the lingam? What does that mean? Everybody do that, throw honey and so on the lingam. I'm sure people tell you all kind of things, but what does it mean? This is our Shastras, our scriptures. We have to practice it our way. The prayer or the song or the chant that most of you are connected with in the Shiva Lingam Pratana is called the Lingashtakam. And the children sang it so beautifully earlier. I will not even attempt to sing it like them, but I will try to explain a few verses to you. Brahma Murari Surachit Lingam Nirmal Bhashit Shobhit Lingam Janma Jadukha Vinashak Lingam Tat Pranamami Sada Shiva Lingam Om Namah Shivaya. Everybody, Namah Shivaya. Oh, Namah Shivaya. Oh, Namah Shivaya. Deva Muni Pravarachit Lingam Kamadaham Karunakar Lingam Ravan Darpa Vinashak Lingam Tat Pranamami Sada Shiva Lingam Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Sarva Sugandha Sulepit Lingam Buddhi Vivardhan Karan Lingam Siddha Sura Survandit Lingam Tat Pranamami Sada Shiva Lingam Om
Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Brahma Murari Surajita Lingam Nirmal Bhajita Shobhita Lingam. Salutations to the Lingam, which is adorned by Brahma and Vishnu and all the devatas. Nirmal Bhashita Shobhita Lingam. Salutations to the Lingam, which is Nirmal, it is pure. It is pure. Nirmala Bhashita Shobhita Lingam. It is pure and Janmaja Dukkha Vinashaka Lingam. Salutations to that Lingam, which when worship Janmaja Dukkha. This is not make-up story, my friends. This is real. Janmaja Dukkha. Sorrows that we have brought into this life. Punarjanmaka Karma. Sorrows that we have brought into this life from previous janam. Janmana Jadukha Vinashaka Lingam. They can be destroyed. Tat Pranamami Sadashiva Lingam. When we bow to Bhagwan Shivji, when we bow to Mahadev, the vision of the sight of the Lingam, you know this? The sight of the Lingam. We are blessed in this place and Canada and Guyana and so on, that when we go, we get to gore the Lingam good with we hand. You get to throw ghee and all this kind of wash them nice and all this kind of thing and put flowers and all this kind of thing on the Lingam. We are lucky to do that. In many parts of the world where you go, in the prominent temples, if you line up for 1 hour and you can see the Lingam for 2 seconds, then you're lucky. You're lucky if you see the Lingam for 2 seconds. But that 2 seconds is good, because the sight of the Lingam alone burns away impurities. Your mere presence there, my friends, your mere presence, the aura of that temple, the aura of the Lingam burnt away. I took the children in 2019 December to Kalahasti to see Bhagavan Kalahasti, the wind Lingam. You know, wind, very good for cleansing of the body, aura and things like that. If you see people, this is in South India, if you see people, we finish Venkateshwar, we come to Kalahasti. People, long line up, the kids are tired, and a whole bunch of things. And then they line up, push, shove. And then the Kalahasti Lingam is right deep inside the wind Lingam. And then when they get in front of the Lingam, they barely pass like this. And it's like that. Where is the Lingam? Where is the Lingam? After all of that, you can't see no Lingam. Right? But the eyes see something, but they didn't even know what they saw. But the mere fact that you're present there is we are blessed here. Shivaratri night, forced prahar, only all of you will throw juice, something like that. It's a blessing. Janma Jadukka Vinashaka Lingam. This Lingam is in this temple. I mean, other temple Lingam great too. But the kind of tapasya that is done on it, the kind of prayer that is done on it, it requires this kind of thing. It is a very, very blessed object for us to visit. Deva Muni Pravarachita Lingam Kamadaham Karunakar Lingam. I bow to that Lingam which is worshipped by all the devatas and best of the sages, which burns Kamadaham, which burns away our desires. Daham means born. And which is compassionate. That Lingam I bow to. Sarva Sugandha Sulepita Lingam. I bow to that Lingam with Sarva Sugandha. Lord Shiva is associated with Sugandha, means he is sweet smelling. He is sweet smelling naturally of Shiva. He lives in Kailash. He doesn't have deodorant and perfume and things like that. But, Sarva Sugandha, naturally he smells the divine aura. Lingams naturally, they have a beautiful aura. But in the temples, we try to find the best, pure, non-alcoholic, divine attar to give to the Lingam. Now, there's a special one that we use. Can't give it a name, because then you go and carry home, and then your Lingam will smell like Abi Lingam, and then come on there, and then if you Lingam smell like Abi Lingam, then you know what will happen. That's how our Guyanese people think,
No? There's a brand of attar called Javadu. That Javadu it comes from a root of a plant. If you go to South India, they have Javadu in big plants and roots selling in malas. When you bring Javadu and you hang it up at the temple, you spray water on it like this, a root, it just dispenses beautiful smell. No? Beautiful, Mahadev. Sarva Sugandha Sulepita Lingam. And what is the meaning of this? You got to understand. When you go and you're in the presence, I do it every morning. I take attar. I'm allergic to high scented thing, but what you got to do? Batore it, good on him, nicely, shine. And then what happened? I go home, and whatever you touch, that aura will be left with you. That scent will be left with you. When you become in contact with Mahadev, who is Sarva Sugandha, who is the all-sweet smelling, the all-sweet scented one. Sarva Sugandha Sulepita Lingam. You will leave as well smelling sweet. You will leave sweet scented because you have been in contact with him. Sarva Sugandha Sulepita Lingam. Buddhi Vivardhana Karana Lingam, the one who reinforces our knowledge and intelligence. Na? Karnaka Mahamani Bhoshit Lingam. I salute Bhagwan Shivji, who is decorated with gold and other precious gem. Don't worry about him not, living like like a sage. Oh, when the lingam is decorated. Now you see this evening, beautiful. He is decorated and preserved in such beautiful. Kanaka Mahamani Bhoshita Lingam Panipati Vestita Shobhita Lingam, who is decorated with gold, all the precious gems, and is adorned with the best of serpents wrapped around him. You know why the serpent wraps around him? Because the serpent senses no agitation. The serpent senses coolness and calmness, and the serpent wraps around the neck of Bhagwan Shivji. Ashtadalo Pariveshtita Lingam. I bow to the lingam, which is surrounded by the 8 petal flowers. Ashtadalo Pariveshtita Lingam. Sarva Samudbhavakarana Lingam. I bow to the lingam, which is the cause behind all creation. Sarva Samudbhavakarana Lingam. Ashtadaridra Vinashaka Lingam. What is poverty? Poverty is sometimes thought of as not having food and wealth. There are 8 kinds of poverty. No? We've talked about that many times. Ashtadaridra it is called. The 8 forms of poverty. When you worship the Shivji Yantra, that you have Bhavani Shankar Yantra at home, pay special attention to it, the layout of it. Pay special attention to the layout of it. Ashtadaridra Vinashaka Lingam. The Bhavani Shankar Yantra, worshipping it, when it vibrates with energy and aura, it removes poverty from your life. Shivji Lingam does that. Poverty is not only necessarily lack of food, and so it is the lack of company, lack of love, lack of compassion, lack of union, lack of being in satsang. Many kinds of poverty. Shivji Bhagwan, of course, destroys that. Suragura Suravara Pujata Lingam, Suravana Pushpa Sadachita Lingam. I bow to the lingam, worshipped by the preceptors of the world, the best of the devatas, which is worshipped by the flowers from the celestial gardens. To that Shivji Lingam I bow to, my friends. And that is the Shivji Lingam we talk about today, Mahadev Bhagwan. One day Bhagwan Vishnu meets Bhagwan Shivji. This is called the Shiva Tattva in the Shiv Puran. He says, Mahadev, Shivji is a devotee of Vishnu. Vishnu is a devotee of Bhagwan Mahadev. And what happens now? He says, I want to take a message to the world and tell the people about Shiva Tattva. Tell me of a way in which you can be pleased. Tell me of a way in which you can be pleased. I want to know of that, and I will take that message to the world. And what he says, Prithvyam yani lingani tesham sankhya na vedhyate tathapi cha pradhanani kathanti cha maya dvijah. He said, when one wants to please me, this is the words of Mahadev, when one wants to please me, please the Lord, When one wants to adore Shiva, when one wants to become one with Shiva, if there is a desire to have cleansing of the body, mind, and your home as well. So lovely that people did Shiva Sahasranam in their home last week on Sunday. Bhagwan Mahadev says, Vishnu, if there is a desire to have cleansing of the mind, of the body and the home, then worship of the Shiva Lingam is important in one's life. And he's going to talk about the different kinds of lingam. He says that Saurastre Somanatham cha. This comes from the Shiva Puran. Koti Rudra Samhita, chapter 1 of the book. Beautiful. Saurastre Somanatham cha Shri Shaile Mallikarjunam Ujjayenyam Mahakalam Omkaram Maleshwaram Paralyam Vedhyanatham cha Dakinyam Bhimashankaram Setu Bandhe Turamesham Nagesham Darukavane Varanasyam Tu Vishvesham Trayambakam Gautami Tate Himalaye Tu Kedaram Grishmesham Cha Shivalaye Etani Jyotir Lingani Sayam Pratha Pathe Nara Sapta Janma Kritam Papam Smaranena Vinashyati. Bole Shiv Bhagavan ki. Does that chanting song familiar? Auntie Kamal? Auntie Leela? Auntie Indra? Song familiar? Anybody else? Moini, song familiar? I hope you remember it. This is the chanting where we have Babita? Okay, good. This is what we have taught. This is the last chanting I've taught today. Chanting group. We have a chanting group every Thursday, time like this, 8 o'clock. I just got a reminder that our chanting is coming up. So I didn't miss our class today. This is the last thing we taught them. The Dwadash Jyotir Lingani. Bhagwan Shiv, this comes from the Shiva Puran. Bhagwan Shiv just says, whoever recites or listens to the Dwadash Jyotir Lingani, whoever recites the 12 Jyotir Lingam name, and whoever listens to it, what happens? What he says, Dwada Shaitani Namani Pratarupaya Tapathet Sarva Papa Vinirmukta Sarva Siddhi Palam Labet. I'm reading for you direct from the book. He says, hey, everybody, a person who recites the names of these 12 Jyotir Lingams daily, not only Sunday or Monday, daily. Dwada Shaitani Namani Prataruttata Yepatet. Who recites it daily, what happens? Early in the morning, he specifies the time as well. Early in the morning. Early means a different thing for different people, no? Sometimes call people 10 o'clock in the morning. Why didn't you call me so early? I already finished 8 hours of work by 10 o'clock. Sometimes people wake up 12 o'clock midday and say, oh, so early we wake up. Well, people have different shifts and things, you know. You gotta be sensitive. We have nurses at the back here. They work night shift and things like that. So doctors and mechanics and things, everybody, they work. So they wake up different time in the day. So early means different thing. But please, early in this sense means pratakala, sunrise and things, not before. He says, who chants these names of the Jyotir Lingam early in the morning? What happened? Daily, he is relieved of all sins and meets with all the success. Na? Sapta Janma Kritam Papam. We have to think about cleansing, because how many births are we going to take, my friends, to come back and to come back and to come back? How many births are we going to take to see wars and wars and wars and fighting every day? Aren't we tired of this cold? How many births are we going to take to come back into this? We want to wash away those papas. We want to cleanse. We don't want to have deficit in karma. We want to cleanse. So what you do, you use these simple methods. The Lord, the mouth of Bhagwan Shivji, reciting these things. Whoever chants my name, the Dwadas Jyotir Lingani, every morning. And people have no excuse, my friends. Hindus should not have excuse because this thing is free. I teach for free. Their lives will be filled with joy and successes. And he continues, Yam yam kama mamaksheva patiyanti narottama prakritam kamayam tam tam paritram munishwaraha. He will achieve success in that particular field that they focus on in life. What are the 12 Jyotir Lingams? They are in different parts of India. They are called Jyotir Lingams. Jyotir means light. Nobody created them. Nobody formed them. They were either created by themselves or they were created by God. And there are 12 of them. Tonight we'll talk about 2, maybe 3. The first one is the first lingam ever created on this earth. The first lingam ever created in this earth, my friends, is in a place called Saurashtra, is in Gujarat. There's a few people here who went to that lingam. I think they know who they are, of course. They went to see that beautiful lingam of Saurashtra, Somanath. Somanath Bhagwan is in Gujarat. In my opinion, it is, you can't say it's the most beautiful because you tell the other one, they're not good looking too. Right? But it is really, architecturally, how they built the temple, the landscape right by the sea. And the experience is just divine when you just go there. How did Somnath Bhagwan come about? Somnath Bhagwan, the first lingam, the first of the Jyotir Lingams. He is named after Som. First of all, he is named after the moon. Somnath Bhagwan. Remember when we chant? Someshwara Shiva, Someshwara, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Someshwara Shiva, Someshwara, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Saurashtre Somanatham cha. Daksha, the father of Sati, he had 27 daughters. They are known as the constellations. Revati, Rohini, and so on. There are 27 nakshatras that govern, they govern the moon cycle. I'm giving a little astrology, but I shouldn't. Anyways. So every day, a nakshatra, all of you are born on a nakshatra, means your planet. This thing that the West have, that you are Taurus and you're Sagittarius and you're Leo and you are, all of the Taurus, people are bull and they get sort, Babita, everything. West created that stuff. You want to know the real stuff, you have to go deep into our things. Every one of us are born on a nakshatra. Right? The real thing, when you're doing a puja, the Panditji asks you the real thing. Nowadays they ask you your name. What's your real name? But if you go and you do the right things, what happened? They will ask you your name, and that name, from that name they will tell you Janmanam, Janma Nakshatra, and Janma Rashi. It means the planet that you are born under, the star that you are born under, and your name, of course. The planet that you are born under will give you the syllable of your name. So I was born on the Punarvasu Nakshatra. When the Panditji does my name, like I went to Vishnu Mandir the other day, the South Indian Panditji is there. He knows all about that. The minute you walk in, Haratnamadheyasya Punarvasu Nakshatra Mithun Rasi. Right? That is how it should be done. And it's beautiful. All of you should find whoever your priest is and things like that, and they can go back, computer and so on, and find what is your nakshatra and your rasi. You keep it. It's very important for you. So the 27 constellations, the 27 stars were Daksha's daughter. And they were all married to the moon god. So imagine the big moon is there, and he is surrounded by 27 constellations, the stars. But what happened? Among them all, he was favorite. He loved one of them called Rohini Nachatra the most. Rohini Nachatra is what Bhagwan Shri Krishna, the planet he was born under. Even they came under planets. Krishna Janmashtami, that is how you determine how Krishna Janmashtami occurs. No? Rohini Nachatra, it has to be that planet present. Ramji Bhagwan, how you determine Ram Navami? In the month, in that particular month, Punarvasu Nachatra, that is my birth star. Me and Ram Bhagwan, same birth star. Both devotees of Shivji. It adds up, it works out, right? So what happens? Among them, he loved Rohini more than all of them. And the Daksha, who is the father-in-law now, came to the moon and says, no, no, no. You are married to all the constellations, all 27 of my daughters. You have to give all of them equal love. You have to treat all of them well. But what happens? He did not do that. He treated Rohini a little bit more close than the other ones. And so what happens? He, after he was warned, he did not heed that warning. And when Daksha, the father-in-law, Daksha Prajapati, this is the same guy who Lord Shiva cut off his head and gave him a goat head, right? The father-in-law of Bhagwan Shivji. He was the son of Bhagwan Brahma. So at that time, he was the guy who controlled creation and all of that. He went to the moon and he says, Chandradev, Somadev, you've broken a fundamental rule in this process, that you love one of my daughters more than the others. And for that, I give you a shrap. I give you a shrap that the moon, you will die. You will die. And so what happened? The moon starts to die. It started to die. Daksha now goes and he starts to form his own moon, builds his own moon, because they had the power to do that. And what happened? At that point in time, Sati Devi, she was not yet married to Bhagwan Shivji. Sati Devi came, and of course, the moon is her jija, her brother-in-law. And what happens? She runs to Shivji Bhagwan and says, Bhagwan Shivji, please save him. Save him. Because who is Shivji? Shiva Shankar Rakhwala Mera, Shiva Shankar Rakhwala. The Lord Mahadev is the Lord who saves, the Lord who rescues, and the Lord who guides all of us. Shiva Shankar Rakhwala, Shiva Shankar Rakhwala Mera, Shiva Shankar Rakhwala Mera, Shiva Shankar Rakhwala Mera, Shiva Shankar Rakhwala, Shiva Shankar Rakhwala Mera, Shiva Shankar Rakhwala Mera, Shiva Shankar Rakhwala Mera, Shiva Shankar Rakhwala. Shambho! जिनके महिमा ऋषि मुनि गाए, योगी जिनका ध्यान लगाए, जिनकी महिमा ऋषि मुनि गाए, योगी जिनका ध्यान लगाए, मन उसका मतवाला मेरा, मन उसका मतवाला मेरा, शिव शंकर रखवाला मेरा, शिव शंकर रखवाला। शंभो।
जो भी शिव शिव नाम ध्यावे, वो ही मन वांछित फल पावे। जो भी शिव शिव नाम ध्यावे, वो ही मन वांछित फल पावे। ऐसा शिव कृपाला मेरा, ऐसा शिव कृपाला मेरा। शिव शंकर रखवाला मेरा, शिव शंकर रखवाला। शंभो। विघ्न हरे संताप मिटाए, युग युग के सब पाप जलाए। विघ्न हरे संताप मिटाए, युग युग के सब पाप जलाए। ऐसा नेत्र की ज्वाला मेरा, ऐसा नेत्र की ज्वाला मेरा। शिव शंकर रखवाला मेरा, शिव शंकर रखवाला। शंभो। बोले। ज्ञानी जिन्हें विचारत हारे, भगतन के वो खरा दुआरे। ज्ञानी जिन्हें विचारत हारे, भगतन के वो खरा दुआरे। ऐसा दीन दयाला मेरा, ऐसा दीन दयाला मेरा। शिव शंकर रखवाला मेरा, शिव शंकर रखवाला। ओ शिव शंकर रखवाला मेरा, शिव शंकर रखवाला मेरा। शिव शंकर रखवाला मेरा, शिव शंकर रखवाला मेरा। शिव शंकर रखवाला मेरा, शिव शंकर रखवाला। जिनके महिमा ऋषि मुनि ध्याए, योगी जिनका ध्यान लगाए। Whoever जिनका महिमा ऋषि मुनि गाए, योगी जिनका ध्यान लगाए। Whoever sings to him, whoever talks to him, whoever calls upon him, whoever meditates upon him, yogi जिनका ध्यान लगावे, ध्यान to meditate. The yogis meditate upon him, the householders call upon him. When we were younger, all of you are younger, did we really know how to do Shiva Puja? Oh, of course we did. We threw our water on him. We put a bilva patra on him. We put our madar on him. A little bit of chandan. We prayed to him no matter where we were. We pick up a stone somewhere, no matter how it was. But we knew in a humble way how to worship Shivji. My first love, my friends, was with a stone. My first love was with Mahadev Bhagwan. I tell you this every day. I told you this a couple of weeks. My first love was with a stone, a little boy. I found a rock. Right in Borby's there, you go over the Borby's bridge now. That's my area, where my wife is from. My mother used to take us to bathe at the river every, certain mornings. Saw this beautiful stone, and he looks like Shivji. I don't know, right? Everybody walk on him, and them fishermen come in and everything. Right there,
Looked so smooth and nice, unusual. I picked him up. I shined him up nice. I took it home. We didn't have a yoni to put him on, a stand to put him on. I took a walaba pose, you know, walaba pose, a little wrong pose. Juke it down in the ground. I took a board and nailed it on him, and I put the lingam there, what I call the lingam. As a boy, I worship him every day, dhar every morning, Belopatra. We had an old man next to us, he has a Belopatra tree, but he was a very grumpy guy. So you had no choice but to steal the Belopatra from him. You had no choice to steal the Belopatra from him. So Mahadev, if I'm stealing something to offer to you, I don't know if that's sin or not, but if you think it is, then please send me, Prabhu. Because you can't go wake up him and get dark and so on, so you have to steal the Belopatra, offer to Mahadev Bhagavan. Grow up with him. Grow up with him, worshipping something that people stepped on. That is what I fell in love with as a little boy. Right? A stone. We never had these lingams there. But no matter what, he helped. He helped to guide us. He helped, even up to when I was 19 years old, I left Guyana. Up to then, I worshipped that beautiful stone. Up to now, it's there. Beautiful, little, you may walk past it and you may not know it. But wherever you call upon him in the form of a fruit, he'll come. In the form of brass, he'll come. This has to be good. Jinke Mahima Rishi Muni Gyai. No? That is who he is. When Sati Devi saw the moon dying, she ran to Shivji Bhagwan and says, Mahadev, you're the only one who can save him. You're the only one who can save him. Bhagwan Shivji, at that point, he created what we call the Mahamrityunjay mantra. He created the Mahamrityunjay mantra. All of you know the Mahamrityunjay mantra. Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukmeva vandana mrityor mokshayamamritat. Shivratri night we chant that 108 times sometimes. Trambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushti vardhanam urvarukmeva vandana mrityor mokshayamamritat. Bhagwan Shivji says, take this mantra to the moon. Take this mantra to the moon and let him chant this mantra with all his devotion. Let all his dharma patni stand around him and chant. There's a, people say sometimes that you can't pray for people. That is so much trash. It is nonsense. If you can't pray for people, what are you going to do? Huh? But we know very well how to wish them bad. No. Pray for people. There's nothing wrong with that. Last night we see Chanchula, the elevated Atma, the elevated soul who prayed for her husband who was a bhoot, who was a ghost. Read Mahashiv Puran, Tumburu, read Mahashiv Puran for a bhoot. And he elevated. Bhagwan Shivji is Bhuteshwar. He has compassion for all forms of life. You can pray for whoever you want to pray for, but whoever you're praying for, they must not be wasting life. Do you understand? They cannot be a person who wastes life because, you're administering medicine to someone, but they're eating all kind of garbage and all. What is going to happen? It's not going to work. They all went and they took this mantra, Mahamrityunjay mantra. That is when it was created. And the moon god, he was dying. And they all chanted, Trambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukmeva vandana mrityor mokshayamamritateyom. He chanted it non-stop for 6 months. There was no morning, there was no evening, there was no night. He chanted Mahamrityunjay mantra for 6 months. And what happened, my friends? Bhagwan Shivji, Mahadev Bhagwan, appeared in front of him. Prabhasake shubhe kshetre vraje chandra sadaivate Shiva marathaye tatra mrityunjaya vithanaya nidhayesham purastatra
Chandra tapatu nityara prasannascha Shiva pascha dakshayam te kareshyati. Bhagwan Shivji Mahadev Bhagwan appeared in front of him, and Mahadev says, ask for a boon. The Lord appeared in front of a dying man and says, ask for a boon. Of course, he cannot reverse the wish of Daksha, the curse of Daksha. But the moon says, Prabhu, let me have life. And Bhagwan says, well, I'm going to give you a place to sit. But from when it is full moon, Purnima, you will have fullness of life. And every day you will lose a little bit of that fullness for 2 weeks. And then when it is Amavasya, 2 weeks after, you will start to regain that life fully. In so doing, you will fulfill Daksha's curse, that you're not dead, but you're lifeless, and you will gain my blessings, which means you'll be full of life. And don't worry, Chandra, Som, I will give you a place where you can sit. And he places Chandrasekhar, the crescent moon, on his forehead. The Lord didn't place the full moon on his forehead, he placed the crescent moon on his forehead. That which lacks life, and vibrancy, Bhagwan Shiv can take and give it a place, and immediately it will regain its life. This is the power of Mahamrityunjay mantra. When Bhagwan Brahma and Bhagwan Vishnu saw the compassion of Shivji Bhagwan, when they saw the compassion of Shivji Bhagwan, that he went down from the heavens to the moon god and he restored life into him, they say, oh wow. To create an occasion out of this, both of them came, Brahma and Vishnu, and they installed a lingam in that very place. And that lingam is called Someshwara Shiva Someshwara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Someshwara Shiva Someshwara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Come home.
Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya.
Someshwara Shiva Someshwara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Someshwara Shiva Someshwara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Hare Saurashtre Somanatham cha Srishaile Mallikarjunam Ujjayenyam Mahakalam Omkaram Maleshwaram Paralyam Vaidhyanatham cha Dakinyam Bhima Shankaram Setu Bandhetu Ramesham Nagesham Darukavane Varanasyam tu Vishwesham Trayambakam Gautami Tate Himalaye tu Kedaram Grishmecham Shashivalaye. Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Bole Somanath Bhagavan ki Jai. Somanath Bhagavan. That is how Somanath came. Brahma Bhagavan came from the heavens. Vishnu Bhagavan came from the heavens, and they didn't take chisel and hammer, and they brought the lingam from the heavens and they installed it in Saurashtra. That lingam is still there. In 2018, when we took the group to India, we were so blessed to visit Somnath, and we sat there. The temple was not busy, and we did kirtan for about 45 minutes.
We sat on the ground and did kirtan for 45 minutes. I tell you this story so many times. You probably ask, go to the alpha. But the more you go to the alpha, the more sweet you get. You know? We sat and sing. Who were there? Some people were there. Anita was there. Shanti was there. Who else was there? I've seen a lot of people. At least 2 people were here. So I can't be making up stuff. I don't make up stuff in any ways. We sat there and sang about 45 minutes. And oh, the ecstasy, the energy. We sat there and there was a Panditji sitting next to the Lingam. The Panditji was so moved, he couldn't bear nothing more. He went and took the Bilva Patra from the Lingam on top of the Shivji Lingam. And he told the guard, go give the Panditji. I'm telling you this, the people are here, they'll tell you. He took the Bilva Patra, a bunch of Bilva Patra and Chandan. You always put Chandan on top, put Bilva Patra there. He took it sweet scented and he bring it to us. So when he gave me this thing, my hands were shaking like this. My hands were shaking. And he gave us the Bilva Patra and it had Chandan on it. You know, and everybody was just dripping with ecstasy. And we took the Chandan, shared it nicely with everybody. Those experiences, you can't forget them. You have to always remember them. Because those are the things that bring us a little closer to Mahadev Bhagwan. We share the Chandan nicely with everybody. I will never forget that experience in my life. It is one of the most divine experiences I've had with him. One of the more pleasing, one of the most genuine, profound, energies I've received from Mahadev. And the people who were there, they were just singing. All we were singing, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah. Just that we were singing, Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. And we start Someshwara. And you in Somnath, they praise Somnath Bhagwan. Oh, it was such a beautiful experience. That Lingam is still there today. And sometime we will go again to take you to that beautiful Someshwar Lingam. But you don't have to worry about that. Someshwar Lingam is in your home. Is he here? He is in your heart when you call him Somanath Bhagwan. Saurashtre Somanatham Cha. I teach you that stuff? Learn it. That's the first lingam that came into this world. Then the second lingam that came into this world is called Mallikarjun. Saurashtre Somanatham Cha. Shri Shaile Mallikarjunam. Shri Shaile Mallikarjunam. How did Mallikarjun ling came about in this world? Purvam cha katitam yaksha taptuna katayapyaham kumara charitam deva sarva papa vinashanam. The thing is written here again. When you think about this lingam, sarva papa vinashanam, sarva papa vinashanam. Are we such big sinners that we have to worry about washing sins and sins? We are living in a very dark age, an age that is filled with it. So yes, we have to do things every day to get rid of impurities. Get rid of impurities. Saurashtra Somanathan says, Sri Saile. Sri Saile is a beautiful mountain where this lingam is there. What is this lingam about? Purvam cha katitam yasya. So Shivji says, I've already detailed about, that lingam. Let's talk about this lingam now. Sarva papa vinashanam. This lingam came about with Kartikeya. In the Shiva Puran, wherever you see the word Kumar, you have to think about Kartikeya. So Kartikeya and Ganeshji, they were children, the sons of Bhagwan Shiva and Parvati. You know the story. The Lord saw both of them one day playing, and the Lord even has worries. The Lord worries and things, Parvati Mata worry. And what is the worry of every parent? The worry of every parent is that when my children grow up, who are they going to get married to? If they have a desire to get married. There's nothing wrong with marriage, there's nothing wrong with not getting married. Right? If you desire. You know why we worry about that? Because we invest our life, we instill so much values in our children. You teach them to sing, you teach them to dance Katha, you teach them to pray, to do puja, you teach them to be respectful, Sita Ram, Ram Ram. You teach them to be vegetarian, teach them to do this. You teach them all the values to be respectful of life and with people. Only one day for them to marry somebody who will bilawe all that values. Not bilawe mean? You know what bilawe mean? Back home, tell work hard for your money, bilawe all. I mean, throw away all. Throw away. Huh? Until that right? Bilawe. Yeah. You don't know which Katha your children is going to marry and bilawe all the values that you have. What is, every day we are investing for our children. Money we're investing for them, we buy a house. The average, when our children grow up, where are they going to afford to buy a house? How are they going to afford to buy a house? We got to buy for them. They will never afford to start and buy a house for themselves unless they go to school, have great education, and they meet somebody to multiply that. This is how important marriage is. We talked about this last night. Bindul and Chanchula last night, their marriage was a disaster because he was a sinner. He has no regard for God. He has no regard for dharma. He has no regard for himself. And Chanchula was the same thing. So two people who are full of miseries come together, they multiply that miseries and maha misery happen. But two intelligent, two brilliant, two dedicated, people with value come together, they multiply that and bliss becomes yours. Right? Every parent has this worry behind their mind. Don't let them tell you that when children grow big, they make their own choice and things like that. That is to just free their mind of things. Every parent has that worry. To be honest with you, I have that concern as well. Because what is the value of doing all of this? To watch them? Exactly. Bilawe everything. What? You will be hurt as a parent. Right? Bhagwan Shiva and Ma Parvati, they had that concern over their children. Who are they going to marry? When are they going to marry? And all these kind of things. And who first is going to get married? You know that thing, right? Who first is going to get married? Anyways, so the two of them were put to a test to go around the world 7 times. Kartikeya uses his peacock because he's very swift. Bhagwan Ganesha uses his mati, his intellect. He works smart, he don't work hard. And he went around his parents 7 times, so he won the competition. Parvati and Shivji asked him, you got to start, you got to go around the world. He says, no. You asked me to go around the world? My parents are my world. My parents are my world. You have young children here tonight? Please. The world is a very small place if you don't respect your parents. The world is a very small place if you don't respect your parents. We say the world is so big. This world is a very small place. When you haven't won the love and confidence of your parents, you don't have a lot of places to go. Ram Bhagwan could not step out of the grounds of Ayodhya until Mata Kaushalya gave him that permission to go. He said, Ma, my father has given me permission, demanded that I go to the forest, but if you don't send me off with your blessings, the forest will be like Narak for me. Bless me, Ma, so that the forest will be my kingdom. Bless me so that the forest may be my kingdom. He wiped the tears of his mother. Don't ever let a mother tears fall on you. He wiped the tears of his mother and says, Ma, you're not going to cry when I'm leaving because I will not leave in sadness. My life will never be successful. No, children, we are smart maybe than our parents. You think you are, but you're not wiser than them. Because wisdom is not modern day accumulation. No. One day you'll grow up. There was a mother pig. I tell you the story, and a child pig. And the child pig asked the mother pig, Mommy, how come your mouth so long? And the mother pig, my mommy used to tell me a story. And the mother pig said, don't worry, child. One day you grow up like me, and your mouth will be more longer than mine. Because I will shrink. That is the reality of life. Every child who thinks they're superwoman and superman, one day you are going to be like your parents, and even worse than them, because they have faith, they have devotion. This generation, I'm talking about the older generation, you look into this temple tonight, how much women are here. Yeah? You look how much women are here. You look in this temple tonight, and you look how many men are here too. Right? You look how many men are here. That generation of prayerful people, there were women who had faith, and some men who had faith, But mostly the women, they held on to their faith. That is why no matter what happened in their life, no matter what happened in their life, they did not give up their faith. They did not give up their Bhagwan. They held on to it, right? And they became successful people. You ask, like maybe our generation parents, you ask them, you watch the way they live. They will never wake up in the morning and come down without taking a shower, or leave the yard without taking a shower, or leave without doing puja. They will never do that. And that builds a lot of faith in them. Parents have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of responsibility to their children, a lot of love for them. Children, please understand that you're just not there to pass through high school and university and please them. You're there to care them and comfort them. So what happened now? Kartikeya, when Ganeshji went around his parents 7 times, and he says, Mata and Pita, you are my world. Kartikeya came back and he vexed. He swelled his mouth. He says, well, you told me to go around the world. Ganpati said, I didn't tell you to work hard. I tell you to work smart. Ganpati Bhagwan works smart. Kartikeya Maharaj, he left home, by the way. He left home. And what happened? He didn't come back. And what happened? Tatra gatva chate sarve kumaram supramanyavaha vigyatam bahudhayen prathaya chakuradarat. And what happened? Bhagwan Shivji and Parvati Mata send the attendants to go and bring back Kartikeya. But he did not come. Then both of them, Parvati Mata and Shivji, they felt a lot of pain in their heart. Ato mudhu sike dono lokacharo yeye tada jagat tatva snehanat swaputro yatra sanstita. Both of them went. Parents will never discard of their children. Both of them went now, and they went joyfully to find Kartikeya. Because of their love for their son, they went to the place where their son was lodged, where he was there. Shiva Puran tells us, Saputrascha Kumarakhya Pitro Ragamanam Gire Gyatva Duram Gato Sneha Ahye Janatraya Bhavet. Kumara, Kartikeya on the other hand, knowing about the arrival of his parents, discarding his attraction for the mountain, he went to the place located a distance of 3 yojanas, many miles away. After departure of their son from the Krauncha mountain, both of them taking the form of Jyoti. Remember, Parvati Mata and Shivji Bhagwan, they couldn't tolerate this pain from Kartikeya. They went to see him, and he left. And both of them take the form of Jyoti. Krausaste Parvate Duram. He went for Duram, for Gate Tasmin Swaputrake. To Tatra Samasi no Jyoti Rupam Samakshite. Jyoti Rupa. Both of them became this flame. And when both of them became this flame, here is how this lingam is special. When both of them became this flame, Jyotir, remember Jyotir Lingam? They became this flame, and the flames came together and they become one. And when the 2 flames become one, at that place was established a lingam called Mallikarjun Lingam. Mallikarjun. It's a beautiful story, right? But we know why they did this. Sri Shaile Mallikarjunam. They did this. After they take the form of the light, they established their lingam. Why did they do that? Did they do that? Putra sneha turo tome Shivo parvani darshanat kumarasya swaputrasya hi gacchata. Because of the love for their son, both Shiva and Parvati, you know what they did? They used to go now to that place. They every time they go to that place now, they look at that lingam. The most auspicious time to go on that lingam is a time called Kartik Purnima. That happens in November. Bhagwan Shivji, Parvati Mata and Ganeshji go themselves to visit that lingam is visited the most on Kartik Purnima. Because it is believed that the whole family, Shivji Bhagwan is there himself on that day. Because of their love, they couldn't see him now. What happened? They go to that lingam and they sit there to just be there remembering their son. Since the date of Mallikarjun Linga earned popularity in the three worlds, the gods will come down from the heaven to pray to that lingam. People on the earth will pray to that lingam, and those lower pray to that lingam as well. And lingam yaha samikshreta sasarve kilaveshwari muchaye natra sandeha sarvakaman vapnuyat. Lingacha samikshetraha. Kshetra means the eyes, no? Whoever has a look at the lingam, Bhagwan Shivaji's blessing, is that person undoubtedly relieved themselves from pains of life. From pains. Because that lingam was created out of the pain of Ma Parvati and Bhagwan Shivaji. But you don't have to even go there if you don't want to. Saurastre Somanatam cha Sri Shaile Mallikarjunam. When you worship the lingam, there is no one who takes away your pain than Bhagwan Shivaji, my friends. No one who takes away pains like him. He understands your pains. And Bhagwan Shivaji says, Dukham cha durato yati sukhamapnatikam labhet. Dukham, those who have sorrows, or who are living with miseries, it is removed. And they enjoy extreme pleasures in their life. They're freed, of course, from entering the womb again. That person who prays to Sri Shaile Mallikarjunam is free from entering the womb of a person again, which means rebirth is not for you. Rebirth is not for you. Shiva bhola bhandari hai teri sharan. स्वीकारो नमन स्वीकारो रे तेरा शरण शिव भोला भंडारी है तेरी शरण शिव भोला भंडारी रे तेरी शरण स्वीकारो नमन स्वीकारो है मेरा नमन शिव भोला भंडारी रे तेरी शरण. What is the song saying? Shiva bhola bhandari re. Prabhu, you are bhola bhandari. You are the innocent one. No matter what wrongs are done in life, no matter what pains people come to you with, they don't come to you with joy, but pains. You, Prabhu, teri sharan, you accept them at your doors. Prabhu, swikaro naman. We think of you tonight and we call your name, Prabhu. Please. Hey Shiva, mera naman, purify my mind and give me strength. This is the beautiful song of Mahadev Bhagwan tonight. Shiva bhola bhandari re hai teri sharan. ओ डमरू बजाने वाला महादेवा जगदीशा. डमरू बजाने वाला महादेवा जगदीशा. बिगड़ी बनाने वाला है देवा गौरीशा. है बिगड़ी बनाने वाला महादेवा गौरीशा. बिगड़ी बनाने वाला देवा गौरीशा. हे गंगधरन स्वीकारो रे तेरी शरण. शिव भोला भंडारी है तेरी शरण. शिव भोला भंडारी है तेरी शरण. शंभो. हे मंगल मूर्ति दाता शिव शंभो त्रिपुरारी. हे शिव विश्व विधाता हे हमरे हितकारी. हे शिव विश्व विधाता हमरे हितकारी. हे दुख हरन स्वीकारो रे मेरा नमन. शंभो.
शिव भोला भंडारी रे तेरी शरण, शिव भोला भंडारी रे तेरी शरण। हो हे निर्गुण निरकारी, हे सत्यम अविनाशी, हे गंगेश्वर दाता, हे गंगेश्वर दाता, हे आटम परकाशी, हे गंगेश्वर दाता आतम परकाशी। हे शूलधरन, हे शूलधरन स्वीकारो रे मेरा नमन, शिव भोला भंडारी रे तेरी शरण, शिव भोला भंडारी रे
तेरी शरण।
ओंकारेश्वर दाता हम तेरा ध्यान धरे, निश दिन सायं प्रातः हम तेरा गान करे, निश दिन सायं प्रातः हमरे गान करे। सब ले लो शरण, सब ले लो शरण स्वीकारो है तेरा मेरा नमन, शिव भोला भंडारी रे तेरी शरण, शिव भोला भंडारी रे तेरी शरण। है स्वीकारो नमन, स्वीकारो नमन, स्वीकारो है मेरा नमन, स्वीकारो नमन, स्वीकारो नमन, स्वीकारो रे मेरा नमन, स्वीकारो नमन, स्वीकारो नमन, स्वीकारो रे है मेरा नमन। मंगल मूर्ति दाता हे शंभु त्रिपुरारी, मंगल मूर्ति दाता, his lingam is Mangal Murti, the form of auspiciousness, reverberates with auspiciousness. हे शिव विश्व विधाता, हे हमरे हितकारी। प्रभु, who is more connected to you than us, Prabhu? हमरे हितकारी। हे दुख हरन, you worship him, Prabhu. Hey Dukkha Haran, O Lord, who smashes away the sorrows from your devotees. Worship Mahadev with faith. Nothing will touch you in life. People think that fire can burn you, things can burn you, words can hurt you. When you are a worshipper of Shivaji Bhagwan, no sorrows will be able to penetrate your very shining, burning aura. You'll create some, we're getting deep here, but when we worship Mahadev Bhagwan, my friends, we create something called ojas. No, ojas means an aura. It's like a ball of fire. When there is a ball of fire, nothing goes in its way. Whatever goes in its way, it burns, and the ball of fire still burns. This is Dukkha Haran Bhagwan Shivaji. Bhagwan Mahadev and Parvati. This lingam is very powerful. Mallikarjun Lingam, very powerful. This is the Jyoti of Bhagwan Shiva and Parvati. They created that lingam, my friends, so that no one should experience pain in their life. No one should experience pain in their life. And we only talk about two lingam there. There is Dwadash Jyotir Lingam. So tomorrow we have more to talk about. But I think we have so much to talk about and think about. Then the third one, what is called? Saurasya Somanatham cha Srishaile Mallikarjunam Ujjayenyam Mahakalam. In Ujjain there is Mahakal. Mahakal, that is one where when you stand up in that temple, it will shake you from the core of your spine. Mahakal, that's the lingam where today, all of you have social media, you got smartphone and things like that now, Facebook and things like that. You must subscribe to these things. They have Jyotir, there's a page called Jyotir Lingam, and every day they send you darshan of the Lord. Sometimes they send you live darshan of the Lord, of the different lingams. Use it. I subscribe to all of them. I don't have a lot of friends on Facebook. I have a few, but I'm subscribed to all of the Shivji Jyotir Lingam channels. And when they're giving darshan, sometimes late in the night, early in the morning, late in the day, whatever, the live darshan comes on. And you can see when they're doing this one, Mahakal, Ujjayenyam Mahakalam. The Lord in Mahakal represents time. Kal means
Kal means dark, Kal means time, and Kal means death. Antakale chamavi. Antakal means death. Then Kala, or Kal, the color, and then Kal, Mahakal means time. The Lord is the Lord of time. He is the Lord of fear. Darkness is fear. And He is the Lord as well, who welcomes you after death. Mahakal. That is the lingam where they, luckily one person, when you die, people go and throw your ash in the water and things like that. If there is anyone who has a desire, and this may make your skin groan, goosebump. If you get goosebump, this may make you have a little goosebump, but we say your skin groan. You know what some people do? In that temple, is Mahakal temple, they take the ash and they put it in a thin piece of cloth and they do something called Bhasma Arti. They hold it in the thin piece of cloth like this, wrapped up, and the Panditji, they will read the Mahakal Stotram and the chantings, and they'll sprinkle the ash, the Bhasma of the person on the what? On the lingam. On the lingam. It's a beautiful thing. But, we can have a lot of desires in life, but, anyways. They sprinkled ash on the lingam, and to some it's a gross, to some it's insensitive, but to some it's the most beautiful thing ever. To let the final remains of you be immersed into Bhagwan. Into Bhagwan. When we were alive, we could not touch Mahakal, but when we die, when we become nothing, this is the message of that lingam. When we become nothing, Bhasma, then that is the real identity. Because when we're alive, we're big and strong. We have identities, we have jobs. The Lord says, you're big and strong already. You don't need me. When you have true identity and you become nothing, then they take you and they sprinkle it. It's so powerful. The bells, the shells, everything, and they sprinkle you on the. We did it a couple of years here, Bhasma Arti. It is done midnight, but it's very messy. But we'll do it a little bit. Bhasma Arti, where we take the Bibhuti. The Bibhuti that we use here is made of cow dung. There is two most powerful type of Bibhuti. One is from the corpse body when they're born, and the second most powerful one is the gobar, the cow dung. This comes from Kumbakonam, India. We source that stuff to get it here. That is only what we use on Mahadev, nothing else. That is what we use on him. Hopefully we can do it this time without a lot of mess, but Mahakaleshwar. When you do that, my friends, you become a friend of Shiva. You have no fear of death, no fear of time, and of course, you have no fears in life. In concluding tonight, we're getting close to 9 o'clock, but Prasad Don Charhavi, so I have a little bit of time. So what I will tell you now is what we call Linga Puja. So Linga Puja, when the Lord says, of course, worship me, the Lord says, well, here is how you worship me as well. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Oh, bolo Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Iti Vyajnaya Gaurisha Bhutanath Prasid me Bhume Khalita Padanam Bhumireva Malambanam Tvai Jata Paradhyanam Tvameva Sharanam Bhave Ityadi Bahuvidyami Kritva Samya Vijnanata. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Kamale Belva Patrescha Shatapatre Stata Puna Ashang Pushpe Stata Devam Lakshmika Me Vacheyatham. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah
Namah Shivaya, Om 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 Namah Shivaya. Rishayovacha, the rishis are asking Suji Maharaj, how should we worship this lingam? Tell us how we should worship it. We all want to know. I want to know. You want to know. What do we offer in him? What we don't offer to him? There are certain things you cannot put on Shivji lingam. You never should. Tell you about that quickly tonight because time. Anyways, so Vyasa Shishya Mahabhaga Katham Tvam Pramayayata Ke Pushpo Pujita Shumbhum Kim Kim Kanchati Ke Phalam. What kind of flowers should we offer? What kind of flute should we offer? Which direction should we pray? They ask all this to Suji Maharaj. Suji Maharaj says, Shaunakadayascha Rishaya Shutiyajo Nasamchaya. He says, Saunak and other munis, I will tell you respectively. This is the Purana, it's a dialogue. So they ask a question. He says, Brahmaji was there as well. Brahma Vacha. Kamale Vilva Patrescha Shatapatre Stata Puna. Kamale Belva Patrescha. This comes from the Maharshi Puran. The most beautiful flower to offer to Mahadev Bhagavan is Kamala Pushpa. Kamale Belva Patrescha. Kamal Pushpa, lotus flower, is the only among two flowers that you can offer to any deity. You can offer, because this is Sri Pushpa, this is the flower of the God. The God lives in here, right? The only flower you can offer to Ganpati, Lakshmi, Durga, Hanumanji, all of them is lotus flower. But special to Bhagwan Shivji. Kamaler Vilva Patrescha. The most divine flower is a Kamal flower. And the most divine leaf you can put upon him is Bilva Patrescha. The Bilva leaf. All of you know what the Bilva leaf is, right? Tridalam Trigunakaram Trinetram Chatriyayudham Trijanma Papa Samharam Ekka Bilvam Shivarpanam. That's my Shivratri Katha. When you offer one Bilva Patran Shiv Bhagavan, Ekka Bilvam Shivarpanam. Three boards of... if we do the calculation here, we're really going to turn good people, you know? Because if you chant, let's say you chant Lingashtakam, Saurashtra Somanath and Mallikarjun, what does it tell you? Sapta Janma Kritam Papam Smaranena. So that is Sapta Janma. That wash away 7 bort of sins. So 7 bort of sins, good as 7. Then if you offer 1 Bilva Patra, Tridalam Trigunakaram Trinetam Chatriyayudham Trijanma Papa Samharam. By offering 1 Bilva Patra, you're washing away 3 Janma, 3 bort of sins. So every morning, if you offer 1 Bilva Patra and you chant Saurashtra Somanath Cha, 10 bort of sin you wash away. Bapre Bab. We should all be very pure people. We should all be really very pure people. But still, we are not learning lessons of life. We should all be devatas today. But you got to understand, when you finish that puja, you wash away 10 bort of sins there. No, man, this thing is Shiv Puran. I'm laughing about it. I like to make joke and thing because people fall asleep. But Shiv Puran, Tridalam Trigunakaram Trinetam Chatriyayudham Tujanma Pava Samharam Ekka Bilvam Shivarpanam Kasi Chetrunivasam Cha Kala Bhairava Pujayet Koti Kanya Mahadanam Ekka Bilvam Shivarpanam. This is the Lingashtakam. We read this Shivratri night. Always we chant in this temple. By offering 1 Bilva Patra to Bhagwan Shivji, Koti Kanya Mahadanam. I'm getting a little sensitive here as well. You know what is the greatest blessing a parent can receive as well? When they give Kanyadan. When they give Kanyadan. When they give their daughter as a Kanya in marriage to someone else. Nowadays, Kanya is Kanya gone, but where do you find innocence these days? There's no innocence and so these days. That has changed a lot. Kanya has been redefined. But the greatest blessing a father can have is to present their Kanya, their daughter. It's a blessing for a parent. That is why godchildren are the Lakshmi of our home. Godchildren are the Lakshmi of our home. Boy children important too.
But godchildren are the Lakshmi of our home, and they're there. You know, and in India they have this kind of thing. You probably noticed that if you get son, then that's a bad thing. I have to tell you. Gandhari, you know what Gandhari told Dhritarashtra? Gandhari was the queen who tied her eyes up because her husband's eyes were blind. Gandhari, when her sons grew up to be so atrocious, Dhritarashtra, her husband, says, Krishna says, Gandhari Mata, you should be very happy that you have 100 sons, because in our dharma, you know, the people believe that when you have a son, that's a good thing. Gandhari Ma says, Krishna, it is best to have one single daughter than to have 100 sinful sons. This was the strong words of Gandhari Ma. You know, a daughter is a blessing in a home. So when you give a daughter's kanyadan, a parent really elevate themselves in life. Anyways, people don't believe in this thing these days, and that's fine, because modernization has taken over our culture. The scripture is old, and modernization nowadays have taken over our culture. This time in a long time has taken over our scripture. Please understand, we cannot change the scripture because time has not changed. सूरज न बदला, चांद न बदला, न बदला रे आसमान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान। देख तेरे संसार की हालत क्या हो गई भगवान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान। सूरज न बदला, चांद न बदला, न बदला रे आसमान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान। आया समय बड़ा भेदंगा, आज आदमी बना लफंगा। कहीं पे झगड़ा, कहीं पे धंगा, नाच रहा नर होकर नंगा। छल और कपट के हाथों अपना बेच रहा ईमान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान। देख तेरे संसार की हालत क्या हो गई भगवान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान। It's a very funny song, because in the song we're saying, Prabhu, देख तेरे संसार की हालत, look at what your condition of your world has become. क्या हो गई भगवान? ये भगवान, what has happened? कितना बदल गया इंसान? We are asking God what has happened to His world when we have changed the world. We have ulta everything. Everything ulta. Ulta means upside down. No? सूरज न बदला, चांद न बदला, ना बदला रे आसमान. The sun hasn't changed. The sun's still there. Morning time rise, afternoon time go down. Chand na badla, night time the moon come up. 2 week bright, 2 week dull. That has not changed. The skies are still there. Kitna badal gaya insan. There's still 24 hours in the day. Folka ka still across 6 o'clock in the morning gaya na. That has not changed. Lekin kitna badal gaya insan. People have changed. People have changed. So we can't change our scripture because people have changed. We have to align because of this, you know. So what happened? The Lord says, anyways, Tattva, the Shiva Tattva. What is the most special leaf? Bilva Patra to offer. Kamalaschaiva Bilva Patresha Shatapatre Statha Punaha. By offering the Bilva Patra on me, a Shatapatra, there is a one called the very big lotus as well. Shanka Pushpa, these are beautiful flowers. It bestows riches to a devotee's lives. It bestows riches to a devotee's life. Who said God devotees have to be poor? Who said God devotees have to be bhikari? No? You know, there's nothing wrong in being rich. And if you think there's anything wrong in being rich, then bring all your richness and put it in a donation box. Story done. Live a poor life. There's nothing wrong in if God doesn't bless you for serving Him, who can bless you? So anyways, I want to summarize this nicely because Sita is looking at me. So, what this says, Pradhanama kule yova tadhaivena chantaya. He talks about the direction. The direction, Prabhu is Chaturmukha. You go to Nepal, he has 4 faces. You can stand up any corner of Shiva Lingam and throw dhar any corner, and he's there receiving it. But the most auspicious direction to worship Bhagwan Shivji is north. And he said as well, what he talks about the dhara puja, he talks about flour. Unbroken flowers and rice should be offered to the Shiva Lingam. Akshata, rice should be offered. Application of the sandal paste, linga shivam tatha pushpam akhandam tandulam tatha charchite chandine naiva jaladharam tatha punaha. Unbroken flowers are offered to him. Rice should be offered to the Shiva Lingam. The applying of the chandan should be done. Abhishekam of Shiva should be performed with water. All of this we do. We know those things. Anenata manane. And according to this, of course, Bhagwan Shiva with devotion, he accepts it. There is the bilwa leaf is very special, but there is also the bilwa fruit. It is not edible. The bilwa fruit is very, very special to Bhagwan Mahadev. Now you may ask, well, if he doesn't eat it, what are you going to do with it? Well, we don't eat a lot of things, but we have them, right? We don't eat a lot of things, but it looks nice on us, right? The ladies don't eat their earrings, but it looks nice on you, right? I don't eat my Rudraksh, it just looks nice on me. I just like having it. The Lord must have, true, right? I like having my Rudraksh, I don't eat it, but it looks nice. I like having it. That is him too. He's wild. He likes the wild stuff. Anar pushpa. You know, I know anar? Pomegranate. Pomegranate. Pomegranate? Okay. Same thing. No? Same thing. Anar pushpa. He likes all the wild things. Cane, you know what that is. Anyway, and he says, while worshipping me, what do you do? Taya mrityunjayo japya kamana phala rupita puspa lakshana japa yarhi pralakshana tu bhave chitaha. For the fulfillment of one desires, you know, you can chant many, many mantras, but tatha mrityunjaye japya. For the fulfillment of the other desires, the Mrityunjaya mantra should be recited by performing japa of this mantra 5 lakh times. 5 lakh is 500,000 times. Shiva appears before the devotee. Shivji appears before you. Right? One time, one lady was doing japam, Mrityunjaya japam, 100,000 times, 200,000 times, 300,000 times, 400,000 times, 500,000 times. And then what happened? Looking for Shivji. And the husband come and say, "Gal, hurry up, we gotta go." She said, "Wait, I'm waiting for Shivji to appear in front of me." She said, "Why?" He said, "When I do 500,000 japa, Shivji appears before me." The man says, "How you know I'm not Shivji?" How you know I'm not Shivji? We're searching for Shivji everywhere else, but we don't see Shivji in our husband. Long ago, people used to call their husband Swami. The ladies used to call her husband Swami. So imagine if all of you call your husband Swami, everybody here named Swami. Yeah. You know, according to our tradition, a wife never calls a husband by their name. This is written in our books. Because the more you call the name, Hardat, 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 you're shortening their life. You're shortening their life. It's written in the books. Hardat. Where do so long? Hardat, you're late. You ask my mother when she would go out. It's after 9 and Sita looking at me. Forget about that. When my mother used to go out, and I know this because I grew up with the old people. We have a lot of old people here tonight. Not old people, elder people here tonight. My mother will always say, they will say, "Where Raj there?" Ask my mom, my father's name was Raj. "Where Raj there?" And my mom will say, "Harda daddy tired today. Harda daddy come from work and he tired, so you relax." And she would always refer Harda daddy. Harda daddy. Never ever would she call my dad Raj. Never ever. I didn't even know my dad named Raj. We know what's Harda daddy. It's not truth. You see? Truth. The more you call the man by the name, you're shortening your life. So call your husband Swami. Not gonna happen. Huh? What were we talking about? Ayo kamo bhavishteve durvabhi pujanasayet. Putra kamo bhave deve dharutyama yashtita. The person desirous of long life should adore Shiva with durva grass. Durva grass, we know Ganeshji take durva grass, but Shivji Bhagwan offer him durva grass. What we do in the temple, in Kashi Vishwanath temple, when you go, they make this jata with durva grass. We do it here once in a while when we have durva grass and thing, but they make the durva grass with him. Who does that? They have long life, but prosperous life as well. We talk about the wood apple flower. Then, this one is going to blow your mind away. All those who think we should offer tulsi to Shivji, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
What about you? But why not offer tulsi here? See? Big problem. Because there is this thing, because Shankachud was killed by Shivji, so people think in their mind that tulsi is not offered to Shivji. Let me read from you from the Puran. Bhakti muktim phalam tasya tulasya pujayedhyati arka pushpe pratapascha kunjakara katestata. For worldly pleasures as well as the salvation of a person, that can be achieved by a person who offers tulsi leaves to the Lord. If you go to Varanasi, they have a big tulsi mala they put over Shivji. But yet if you go to another Shivji temple, they will not do it. Because every temple have their own niti. Niti means their own rules and practices. Nothing wrong with that. People are not comfortable, you don't force them. Mahashiva Puran says, Bhakti muktim phalam tasya. If you're desirous of worldly pleasures and salvation to achieve by a person, the holy tulsi is offered to Bhagwan. Immense prowess comes to that person in life. Now let me finish off here tonight in the next 2 minutes. The Lord talks about roses. People say, can I offer a rose to the Lord? Well, here. Japa kusuma puja tu shatrunam mrityuda smrita. Japa kusuma. There are different kinds of roses that you offer to the Lord. This is Shiva Puran. I hear people saying these days you can't offer a rose to the Lord because the rose get pimple upon them. Well, take a knife and cut out the pimple. Take a knife and cut out the pimple and offer a pimple to the Lord. Yeah? Offer a rose to the Lord, He likes it. And He talks about jasmine. Bandhuk bhur vanischam jityatm bhat samsayaha. By worshipping Shiva with bandhuka flowers, the devotee gets ornaments. By worshipping Lord Shiva with jasmine, they will yield good assets in life. He's always dressed in jasmine, sweet smelling the Lord. By offering the splendid flowers, jasmine flowers, they never go shortage of food and assets in life. By offering rice to Shiva, cooked rice. This is very beautiful. Cooked rice with a little ghee to the Lord. Shiva bestows riches to that devotee. They should be, and that should be offered to the Lord. Boiled rice and ghee. We had a South Indian priest here once. Every day he used to boil rice in a pot. I used to walk up with him. I put a little ghee inside, and you bring him. And when you walk it, you walk it right here. Dang! Put it Lord Shiva. You're the till outside of here. And afternoon time you take it downstairs. Sister, you know the story. You put a dang like this, and put a little ghee inside. And afternoon time you take the same rice, go and cook a little curry and eat. Very, very auspicious. Offer cooked rice to the Lord. Grains are offered to Him. They get, you feed the Lord with rice. Lord Shiva is a rice god, my friends. Just like, some people. Anyways, then we thought Dhar Puja. Dhar Puja. Hereafter, he speaks about Dhar Puja. Dhar is very important in life. Why Dhar? For the increase of the comforts and progeny, Dhar worship has been offered to Bhagwan Shiva. And you mix how Dhar is offered. Kevalam dushkrita dhara tata karya visheyataha. You mix the milk with sugar. And in order to bestow wisdom over a person, short of wisdom, milk mixed with sugar should be poured over a Shivalingam. Milk. Gau Mata ki doodh. For this period of Shivratri, we are very blessed to have the pure milk that comes directly from the cow. No, we had it in Shravan, now we have it again. Gau Mata ke doodh. People have issues with that, but we have arguments for that as well. It's too late to tell you that. Offer milk mixed with sugar to the Lord. By doing so, the concerned person achieves wisdom comparable to Brihaspati. The adoration with dhar should be continued till the recitation of the mantras are over. We in the temple as well, we have the Sringi Bringi, you know, we'll bring it out in Shivratri, and you throw the milk on top, and the mouth of the cow is spilling out the milk continuously. That has to go continuously until the Rudram is read. That's called Rudrabhishekam. You throw the milk and it goes nicely on the lingam. It doesn't stop. And then when the mantra stops, then the flow stops. Offer that too. Dhar in the house. When dispute arises in the house or miseries overpower the house, dhar is offered to Shivji. He restores, of course, happiness. Mustard oil. Vasate naiva tailena. Tailena means til, oil, na? Vasate naiva tailena bhoga vriddhi prajayata. By pouring dhar of the fragrant oil, mustard oil, it increases pleasures in life. Enemy is destroyed. Whatever enemies we have inside, it destroys. Honey, madhuna nyakshara jove gachena Shiva pujita. By adoring Shiva, by pouring of honey on the lingam, from yaksha is warded off, enemies are warded off. By pouring the dhara of sugarcane juice, these things are written in the Purana, one gets all types of bliss in this life. And then dhara ganga jalastaiva bhuktir muktir phalaprada. By pouring the dhara of Ganga Jal, one achieves salvation. Ganga Jal is important. When you do all of this, then you must recite Mahamrityunjaya Sadbhava. Recite Mahamrityunjaya mantra. Every Hindu should know Mahamrityunjaya mantra. Please. Find ways to learn it. You can have it on the YouTube and everything like that. But learn Mahamrityunjaya. Then we have Panchagabhya, which are the 5 auspicious things to offer to Shiva as well. I know it, so I won't read it for you. They are called the cow's urine, the cow's ghee, pure ghee, the cow milk, Panchagabhya. Cow's urine, cow ghee, the cow milk, the yogurt from the milk, and the honey. So the 5 things are called Panchagabhya. Among all of them, they are most auspicious for Shivji. And Panchagabhya, when it is offered, that is consumed. It's medicine. We close for tonight because I've gone a little bit over tonight. I want to thank all of you for coming. Tomorrow night we talk about more Shivji Lingam. Come on out. But my friends, I would like all of you to have your Lingam in your home and worship your Lingam. Be devoted to your Lingam. And when we are doing that, it is going to help us, my friends, to deal with our stresses and our sorrows. We are going through a lot in life. We've been housed up for 2 years, we need to get out. A lot of people are suffering mentally and all of that. Shivji Bhagwan Puja helps you to do that. And once in a while, my friends, if you can't do dhar, you know what you should do? Get your Spatik Lingam or a regular Lingam and just meditate upon it. Just meditate upon it. Look at it, close your eyes and let it appear. When the vision of that Lingam is in you, when you close your eyes, know that Shivji is with you, my friends. And so tonight we close, and I want to thank our Shrotas again. Shanti Balrup and her family for being the virtual Shrotas. And also Bhaiji David, who made it out this evening and to do puja. May Bhagwan bless him and his family as well and restore great health to him. He's a gem in our community, and we'd like to see him back soon with the boys and us here marrying and doing all the things that we do at the temple. Finally, before I do my closing, I would like to remind all of you, very importantly, that Shivratri night, you can be sponsors of a prahar. Just like we did it last year, you can be sponsors of a prahar. We have 4 prahars. Go online and you can book it. Donate towards the occasion of Mahashivratri. These things are not, they are very important when you're part of a prahar. And each prahar who sponsored the prahar will call your name. There's no price you can pay for that, but we ask for $108 donation to the temple. And what we'll do, we'll publish your name so people see that you're part of a celebration. And then most importantly, we'll call your name during that prahar in the puja. It's important to do that. Please become a sponsor for a prahar, and let's make this a very, very beautiful Shivratri. I'm inviting all of you to come out for Mahashivratri. come on out. We have, the only problem we'll have is people are so accustomed to the chairs now. If you put them on the ground to sit down, I don't know what's going to happen. But we'll have a mixture of chairs and the carpet. But we have space for everybody. We want you to come and be part of this celebration of Mahashivratri at our temple. Prem se bolo Mahapati Mahadev ki jai. अरे नाम ले लो शिव का मिटे पाप सारे, नाम ले लो शिव का मिटे पाप सारे। अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे, अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे। नाम ले लो शिव का मिटे पाप सारे, नाम ले लो शिव का मिटे पाप सारे। अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे, अजब रूप और भेद नहीं जाने तेरे खेल न्यारे, भेद नहीं जाने तेरे खेल न्यारे। अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे, अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे। नीले नीले कंठ और सर्प की माला है, नीले नीले कंठ और सर्प की माला है। अंग में भभूति और तन पे मृग छाला है, अंग में भभूति और तन पे मृग छाला है। शिव जी की जटाओं में बम भोले, शिव जी की जटाओं में गंगा पधारे। अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे, अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे। बोले नाम ले लो शिव का मिटे पाप सारे, नाम ले लो शिव का मिटे पाप सारे। अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे, अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे। कभी कभी पहन के गले ये रुंद माला है, कभी कभी पहन के गले ये रुंद माला है। एक हाथ डमरू और दूसरों में भाला है, एक हाथ डमरू और दूसरों में भाला है। पिए भंग निश दिन ये भोला हमारे, पिए भिंग निश दिन ये भोला हमारे। अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे, अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे। अरे नाम ले लो शिव का मिटे पाप सारे, नाम ले लो शिव का मिटे पाप सारे। अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे, अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे। अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे, अजब रूप धारे शिव जी हमारे। सर्प की माला, he wears snake as his malas, but on Shivratri night we are buying malas for all of the murtis. All of the murtis, you can go online, bhavanishankarmala.com, and click Shivratri, and you can sponsor a beautiful mala for the Devi, for Shivji, for whoever, Hanumanji, and we'll have it, because these things, we want to dress up all of them, but everything costs a pretty penny, so your help is usually appreciated for that. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll stand for Aarti. Om Yani Kani Chapapani Janamantar Kritani cha Tani Sarvani Nashyantu Pradakshinam Pade Pade. Everybody's invited for Aarti. Om Jai Shiva Omkara Swami Har Shiva Omkara. Jai Shiva Omkara
Swami Har Shiva Omkara.
Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva, Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva, Ardhangi Dhara.
Om Jai Shiva Omkara. Om Hare Hare Mahadev. Ekadan
कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। प्रेम से बोलो श्री गणपति भगवान की, पवन सुत हनुमान की, सियाभज रामचंद्र की, राधा कृष्ण भगवान की। प्रेम से बोलो जगदम्बिका माता की। नमः पार्वती पतये, हर 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 महादेव शंभो। सत्य सनातन धर्म की, सनातन धर्म की, सनातन धर्म की। सबको ये जय जय सीताराम। Please be seated, everyone. Aarti will come your way and prasad will be given at the door as you're leaving. Thank you all very much. I hope to see all of you this evening, tomorrow evening at the temple for Shiva Puran Katha, and online for those of you who are far away, cannot make it, then see you online. But come on out in the temple Friday night, it will be beautiful, and then we go on for the weekend as well. Jai Sitaram, Shubh Ratri.